Imagine playing a VR game that you created. Today, I'll show you how to build one in Unity 6 for MetaQuest. Fast.
Open Unity Hub. If you don't have Unity Hub for any reason, you can download it here. Link in the description. You will be greeted with a window like this. Let's go to Installs. I have Unity 6, Manage, Add Modules, and we're gonna need Android build support, OpenJDK, and Android SDK. It's already installed. Probably you are not gonna have it installed. And also I'm gonna install Microsoft Visual Studio Community. Scroll down, and you need Windows Build Support to install. Once the installation is ready, we can go to Project, New Project. In this drop-down list, you can select any version of Unity that you want. In our case, we're going to use Unity 6. Scroll down, and we're going to use Universal 3D. You'll see that there's a lot of templates that you can actually do, but we're going to try to learn how things are actually working. So we're going to build everything from scratch. Name your project, create project. So as you can see, we have the hierarchy, the project folders, console, Unity version control, and an animator. On this side we have the inspector. We have the scene window, game, asset store, and animator. You might not get this, but there's different layouts that you can choose. What's 2x3, split 4, default, tall, wide. I usually go with the default one, but you can use whatever you want. Now let's install a few things. Edit, project settings, expand this a little. XR plugin management, install XR plugin management. Now we have to choose Oculus, OpenXR, and Unity Mock HDMI. If you are just developing for Oculus, you can select that one, but in our case, we're gonna use OpenXR because it's easier to get to the most platforms. Now we have the project validation with a lot of alerts. Let's go with this one. At least one interaction profile must be added. Let's go to edit, and as you can see, we are in OpenXR, and we have to enable an interaction profile. Basically, is the hardware that we are aiming. So, for example, we can use HTC, we can use Valve, and let's add, of course, Oculus Touch Controller profile. Let's go to Android tab plus Oculus Touch Controller profile. And just to be sure, I'm gonna add MetaQuest Touch Pro Controller profile. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the same here. MetaQuest Touch Pro Controller profile. Let's go back to project validation. Click on Fix All. And as you can see, we're green. Let me check here. Okay, so Android is okay. And this one is great. Perfect. Now we can close this. Now let's continue with the next thing that we have to install, the XR Toolkit. Let's go to Window, Package Manager, Unity Registry. Now let's search for XR Interaction Toolkit. Install. Once it's installed, let's go to Samples, Started Assets, Import, and Project Settings pop up because it's complaining about this Started Action Interaction Layer 31. Click on Fixed, and now it's happy. Let's go to Android to see that everything is okay. Yeah, we're good. Perfect. We can close this. Close. Let's go to Assets. Scenes. We have this sample scene. Now let's go to Assets. Scenes. We have this sample scene. I'm gonna do Ctrl V to duplicate the scene. Rename it as VR Game. Double click to open. As you can see, it's changed. And we have the main camera, directional light, and global volume. The first thing, delete the main camera. Here in the search bar, XR origin. and you can drag it to the hierarchy, or you can directly drag it to the scene. Now let's explore a little bit more about this. I'm gonna do double click so I can get closer. And this is basically the representation of the player. As you can see, we have the camera offset, that's why we don't need the other camera. And we have a locomotion system. We also need an interaction manager. So let's go to the hierarchy, right click, XR, and let's add an XR origin. Now we have two. What is the difference from this prefab that is blue and this one that is white? So it only has the camera. This little guy has everything prepared, like the controllers, the locomotion system. So that's why I advise you to just grab it from the prefabs. So I'm gonna delete this one. And as you can see, we have an interaction manager with a script. Now let's add an event system and a canvas. Let's go again to the hierarchy, right click, XR, canvas. And as you can see, we have a canvas and we have our event system. Now I'm gonna add a plane. Right click, 3D object, plane, and let's change the transform position. Right now is 1.3. Let's change it to 0. So it's below our player. Now, theoretically, you have everything to test. So there's two ways to test this out. The first option is installing the APK on your headset, in this case Oculus Quest. For that, you'll have to enable developer mode, and this web page guides you through all the process. You need a cell phone and your account, and it's gonna guide you through all the process to enable the developer mode. The second option is using the MetaQuest link. That is an application that you have to install on your computer. You can download, install, connect your device using a USB-C cable, which I actually recommend. In my case, I'm gonna use the MetaQuest link. So I'm gonna turn on my MetaQuest, connect it to my computer, and then click on play.
If you subscribe, like, and share, a unicorn will bring you a fresh VR pizza. We can walk through all the plane, or create a scene that we have created. You can actually physically move if you have the space, or you can walk using the left joystick. We can snap turn using the right joystick too, and as you can see, everything is working. But let's make it a little prettier. This world is a little empty. So let's go back to Unity.
Now that we know that our game is working, it's time to make it look pretty. I'm going to select the base game. I'm going to do Ctrl D, change the name to scene 1, and this one to base. Open this one. So if we mess it up, we have this one again. Okay, the scene number 1. And let's go to the asset store, link in the description, and we're gonna download these assets. Opening Unity, opening Unity editor, import project, import, close, and we have this new folder, low poly FPS light. Let's go to scenes, low poly FPS light demo. And as you can see, everything is pink. Let's go to materials, again, edit, rendering, materials, convert selected built-in materials to URP. Proceed, and there you go. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna grab the background and demo. I'm gonna retract this, select this one, hold shift, demo, right click, copy, scenes, VR game, scene number 1. right click in the hierarchy and paste. Whoa! And there we have our scenario. Just let me adjust a few more things. Okay, so here we have the player. Move our player right here. We're almost ready. The only thing that we need to fix is this old plane that we already have there. So I'm gonna just disable it and we're good to go. Now let's hit play and test it out.
If you learned one new thing today, hit subscribe, it helps a ton.